Hello and welcome to episode 282 of Checkpoint Chat. It's the first one of 2026. Matty's choking on water. It's a great start to the year. My name is Alessandro Barbosa. I'm joined by Matthew Figuera.
That's probably like the quickest you've ever had the pause. Like, cool, let's go. Welcome. I was still like drinking some coffee. I hadn't even hit go on my timer. Oh my word.
I've got to keep you on your toes. It's a new year. New year, new me.
New year, new you.
Yeah, new year, new me. And new person in my household.
Yeah,
I have a son.
Nothing of significance happened over the last month at all.
No, it's been a really chilled,
You've been playing
really
some
chilled
games,
first few weeks of the year.
Had a baby.
Had a son literally 2 hours before the new year. Could not wait just 2 more
Wow,
hours just to be a 2026 baby.
You know, that's the best thing about that, though. I'm sure I said to you, my dad's birthday was on the 1st of January. And it was great because every year it was a good excuse for my family to celebrate the New Year's. We always did something. To the point where Lenska's family are the opposite. They do not really do much on New Year's. I was like, this is weird. We have to do something. On New Year's Eve, we go to a Portuguese party or a festa or something. So
sure,
your child will always have a reason to celebrate the New Year. Because
that's
obviously,
true.
You know, it's not the 1st of Jan, but it's the time just before the 1st of Jan.
You'll get fireworks on his birthday every time.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it'll be just after. But like, your birthday's over, now the fireworks begin.
It is really funny though, because he was the last baby born at the hospital we were at for the year, which is quite funny. And also he missed a whole new generation by 2 hours because the 2026 is the end of Gen Alpha and the start of Gen Beta. So he's one of the last Gen Alphas ever born. You know?
I did not know that was like an actual thing. I just assumed that years later people look back and go, oh yes, this era will be known as a millennial. So wait, so what is the year?
Generation, I'm wrong. Generation Beta includes individuals born 2025 to 2039. So he is in Generation Beta.
Oh, is it just every 15 years? That's classified as the next generation,
I
whatever.
Guess so, yeah. This is, every 14 years, yeah.
Wild.
So, Generation Alpha was, let's see here.
So what do you on now?
2010s to the 2020s, but it goes up to 2025. I don't know. This seems like no one really has an exact.
No, I was going to say the definitions vary because then there's also millennials, zillennial, Gen Z, Gen Y, I'm like, what is going on?
Well, we were millennials, and then there's the Gen Zers. Yeah.
So what comes?
I didn't realize there was a generation between millennials and baby boomers because we just call everyone older than us a boomer.
Boomers.
So.
What is the generation between millennials and baby
Generation
boomers?
X. It's the X-Men generation.
Suppose would like my brother and sister be Gen X, born 79, 81. Yeah.
Millennials start. Researchers in popular media use the early 1980s as starting birth years and the mid 1990s to early 2000s as ending birth years. Generally defined as 1981 to 1996 as millennials.
Okay, so also my sister's not a millennial.
What is she then? Generation X?
She's Gen X, yeah.
Damn. The cohort following the baby boomers. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
What if she's ever met Professor Xavier? Let's ask her.
Yeah, I must ask her. Did you wake up in the hospital and there's a dude in a wheelchair that is like, welcome?
It's like, welcome.
And then realized that she had no special
powers.
powers.
Oh, you're not
so
a mutant. You'll never see me again.
Yeah. You'll never get brought to the special school.
My God.
Oh, God.
Speaking of weird. We're going to do a quick pivot here. I was so far behind in all the Marvel movies. Okay, like I hadn't watched Fantastic Four. I hadn't watched The Marvels. I hadn't watched Captain America, Brave New World. So I watched all 3 of them back to back. And now we've got the new Avengers coming out. Is it end of this year or end of next year? It's end of this year.
End of this year.
So we're in 2026. I keep forgetting that. And that's where we've seen the teasers where now we've got like Fantastic Fours there and the OG of Cap's coming back. Apparently Thor's there, and then there was an X-Men trailer. I was like, this movie's gonna be insane. Like, I don't know how they're gonna pull all these strings together.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of these characters are gonna pop up for like 1 or 2 scenes and then not really be.
Well, it's me, Charles. It's like, cool, thanks, man. Goodbye.
Did you watch was it the second Doctor Strange where Scarlet Witch was the bad
Yes,
bad
that
guy,
is a hell of a movie.
You had like Xavier there for like one scene, and all he did was die.
It was good though. It was so shocking.
It was good. It was very good.
We had old what's Jim from The Office? His actual
John
name?
Krasinski.
Yeah, as Mr. Fantastic. It's like, man, what a casting. Gone.
I love that because he was like a big fan casting for actual Mr. Fantastic, and then that never happened. Although you said you watched the Fantastic Four film. I thought that was pretty good. I quite enjoyed that.
It was good. Although I was not expecting them to lean into like these movies aren't real because it's all superheroes and it's nothing like, it all defies logic. However, I was not expecting a baby to be had in space.
Yeah, that was funny.
They're like, we got to go to space. I'm like, I guess Sue Storm's saying, because you could, in 2025, 2026, like, flying is not recommended, okay? But she's like, I'm on the spaceship. I'm out of here. I was like, what are you doing? Okay, what are you doing, first of all? And then they're in space, like, cool, this baby's coming. It's like, what are you doing? What is going on?
It's also like, she gave birth in a means where there's like no gravity, so what do you push against? There's literally nothing you can do.
Yeah.
It's also like, Shani and I watched that. That must have been beginning of December. And I mean, I've known this for a while, but the way movies portray how quickly birth happens is so outlandish.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she went from, oh my God, the baby's coming, to like 10 minutes later giving birth. It's like, no, that doesn't work like that. Like, not even close.
Childbirth, like actual hours, if not days. Sometimes.
Yeah. And then babies in movies, like when they look like newborns, they are basically like 4-month-old children. The size of them is so disproportionate to what they actually are when they're born. But good movie. I thought the what was the bad guy? Galactus, voiced by good Ralph. Is it Ralph Innes? The guy who's
my boy
in Final
Sid.
Fantasy 16, Sid. Yeah, he was pretty cool. Did enjoy him. Cool movie that. I quite enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, it was just
keen to see where they pop up in Avengers.
That just really caught me off guard because, again, like, they just completely lent into that aesthetic and how it's a proper comic book movie. Like, oh, we got to go into space. They're just in space. I'm like, what? You can't just go into space. I'm pregnant to go into space. What? Like, what is going on?
That whole retro future aesthetic was pretty cool.
It was good.
I quite like that. I did also chuckle that they spent a good portion of the final act, like, the whole world is coming together to build all these things in a rapid amount of time, and it just does not work.
Oh, it doesn't work at all.
Yeah, not even close.
It unravels.
They have to just so quickly, and they're like, oh well, shit, we got to make a different plan now that we spent 20 minutes showing how this plan. Yeah, it's funny. Pedro Pascal's the stretchy man, pretty good.
He didn't do much
and
stretching.
Eddie
in
from
the
The Stranger Things, pretty good.
Let's be honest, Mr. Stretch, there was like a scene in the beginning where it's like, the Fantastic Four saving the world all the time. And like, you see him doing some stretchy stuff. The rest of the movie is like, yes, I've done the calculations. I'm smart. I was like,
he basically only got stretched when he was being tortured by Galactus.
Yes,
he's being pulled apart.
Like, oh, like, come on. Yeah, but long story short, I'm very excited to see how, I don't know how they'll do it, but in the new Avengers, how they pull all of these people together. We'll see.
Good luck to them, because they had to course correct like 3 years ago when that dude who played Kang like got arrested. So we'll see if it's ever pulled off.
Last I've seen, I don't know how true this is, but like, I don't know if the charge has been dropped. Like, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It's wild course.
I have a feeling that he was like convicted but never went to jail, sort of thing. Either way, Marvel was just like, nah, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, fair enough.
Crazy times.
You know what else is fair enough? All the games we played during the holidays.
Oof, man,
what a transition down.
Bless the
keep me
Switch,
here all year.
keeping you gaming in even
Sure.
the most
Switch has
parenting
been
of times.
absolute godsend because I can just play that in bed. I can play it around the house. Any little free moment I have, I can. Although these first few weeks, I think, are relatively easier because the baby basically eats and sleeps, and the sleep windows are like 2 to 3 hours. So you have these like breaks in between that are relatively long. I think as he gets older, he's going to be a lot more awake and active, and that will demand a lot more time.
Yeah,
so
for
that'll
sure.
be different. But the Switch has definitely come in handy. And I mean, the 2 games that I've played mostly during the holidays are on Switch. So just quickly, Metroid Prime 4, played that last year, started that last year, and I was like, I want to finish this before jumping headfirst into Silksong because I'd seen that Metroid was about, 10 to 12 hours?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's pretty palatable, can do that pretty quickly. And I played the remaster of Prime earlier last year, and I really enjoyed that. And so I was quite excited for 4, even though I haven't played like 2 and 3, just, off of the back of that remaster. And I don't think 4 is nearly as good as the first one. And it feels very odd as are Metroids Metroidvanias? I'm not, maybe I'm projecting that onto the series.
In the
but
name.
It feels, I mean, it's in the name, but like, it doesn't feel like a Metroidvania. At least Prime, the first Prime did. This one doesn't really. So you play Samus on this, you get teleported very quickly in the game to this planet, and you've lost most of your abilities, which is pretty much how all Prime games start.
Every time.
And you have these like specific biomes. Like you start in a place called Fury Green, and you've got a different biome that's like electricity. It's called Vault Forge, and then you've got an ice one, and then you've got a lava one, and then you've got a I don't know what the last one is. It's like underground in a mine. I don't know what element that is meant to like signify.
Rock.
Yeah, rock. So you travel to these different biomes, and each biome is like a self-contained dungeon. They remind me a lot of like Zelda dungeons.
Oh, nice.
And in between them is this big sparse like desert area that you use Samus's bike on to kind of just go between these areas.
Yeah.
That desert area is kind of bland and boring. There's nothing really to do there. There's these small little like challenge rooms that you can take on. They remind me of shrines in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And a lot of those contain your upgrades to a lot of the abilities you find. But you can only do shrines in a specific order because they are you can only unlock them when you have specific powers anyway. So you can find all of them in the open world but not really do anything with them until you get to a certain part of the story.
Yeah.
And the same goes for the different biomes that you visit. Some of them are locked down with like say a door that requires your fire beam, and if you don't have the fire beam, you've got to go somewhere else. And I find that initially that traversal between these different areas is kind of annoying because you would drive all this distance to get there. You would kind of start entering this area, get to a point to be like, nope, got to retread back all the way and go try a different area. Whereas in the first Prime, this was all one self-contained map, and it felt like you were still exploring as you were figuring out the correct path through this world. Here, it's just like, no, hop between these 4 biomes and just pick the one that you can actually access now in a very linear fashion. You don't really have agency to kind of chart your way through the game.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, it doesn't really feel like a Metroid because there's only one critical path you can follow. And the dungeons themselves are self-contained. They don't like interlink in any interesting ways. So a lot of the times you're just progressing through these dungeons very linearly. It feels a lot of the times like you're just moving between one room to another, and there's just like enemies as you go. And then you get to the end, you get your power, and then you traverse backwards through that same area, sometimes with a slightly different route because now you've got a different ability.
Yeah.
But I was watching SkillUp's review of this, or actually his preview before the review came out, and he was criticizing an aspect of Prime 4 where he said the abilities felt like keys rather than abilities. Like you get, say, a double jump, or you get your grappling hook, or you get a certain like your ice or your fire beam, and they don't feel like abilities that actually fundamentally change the way you play. They just feel like, oh, now I've got the fire beam, I can now open this red door in this specific place. It is a key. It's not really a shift in how you approach combat or how you approach traversal. It's just like, now you can access this area. And I think to a degree, Metroidvanias are all that. But I think that good Metroidvanias make each ability feel like you are exploring the world in a different way or approaching combat in a different way. And I don't think Metroid Prime 4 does that at all. I think Silksong, by comparison, does it way, way, way better.
Yeah.
But the way I was moving through Prime 4 at the start was the same way I was making my way through it at the end, maybe just with a double jump letting me get to certain areas a bit more easily.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, it's a bit disappointing, I think. I think the combat's quite fun. It's cool to have a shooter that is, controller-centric, and it feels controller-centric. And a lot of the time playing it, I was like, man, I should really go back and play Halo. I don't know why it evoked that sort of feeling with me. It just has a good gun feel on the controller.
Nice.
I think the bosses kind of suck. They're very, very bullet spongy, and they can kill you very quickly. And then you just restart those fights over again. I just don't think they don't feel fun. They don't have clever puzzle aspects to them. Again, the first Prime did. This one just is like a battle of attrition. You've just got to put so many bullets into this thing and avoid so many attacks, and it feels pretty mindless half the time. So I think Prime 4 is not a bad game. It's just kind of I find disappointing and a bit of a boring one. And I think that's quite disappointing for a series like Metroid Prime, which is so lauded, especially the first one, and considering we waited 7 years for this game.
The fact that it actually exists to begin with is a miracle, because it was yep, it's happening. Oof, is it happening? When's it coming? Oh, it is coming. Oh, it's out. And 7 years is just
it's a long
crazy.
Time. You can tell that there were different ideas for this game throughout development that I think they had to maybe change or compromise on. The open world aspect feels like they were trying to do a sort of Breath of the Wild thing with Metroid, and then
on paper it sounds like that is the inspiration, because that reinvented Zelda. I'm sure they're like, we've got to do something similar for Metroid. Let's try the same approach, but it just didn't come together. It doesn't sound like.
Yeah, or they had the 4 biomes and they couldn't find clever ways to interconnect them within this open world, so they had them as distinct areas that you enter and exit in and out of. And I think the areas themselves are pretty cool. Vault Forge and the Ice Belt are really fun to explore. Well, not fun to explore, they're visually fun to explore. They look really good.
Yeah, I was going to say, visually the game looks
good.
It's
top tier. Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. And it's got a really good sense of art direction, I find. It's just the game itself is kind of doesn't live up to that same standard. So I think if you've never played a Metroid Prime, you'll probably still find something out of it. But if you've played the remaster, I think you'll probably come away from this slightly disappointed.
Yeah.
And I'm not curious to play Prime 2 and 3 to see if this was actually the natural progression of the series, or if Prime 4 is a massive departure from what the Prime series has been, because I don't know what that lineage has been. I mean, the first Prime came out in 2001 or 2,
so long ago.
Ages ago. Yeah. But I think if you're looking for a quintessential Metroid experience, you should play that, or you should play Metroid Dread, which I think we both love.
Oh, Dread's great.
Those are
that's a more
Metroidvanias.
Traditional. Yeah. I was gonna say, I know you're disappointed at the bosses, but I don't know. It's to me a first-person shooter thing. I think it's just difficult to make a good boss on a first-person shooter. Whereas if I think of Dread, those bosses were also bullet sponges, but because it's a 2D platformer, I don't know, it just lends itself to more exciting or interesting boss fights, I think. I don't know. First-person shooter, it's this weird, awkward movement of you know what I mean? It just doesn't feel as good as a platformer from that point of view.
No, I totally agree with you. And if you compare these ones to the one in Dread, it's night and day. Dread had phenomenal boss fights, I thought. I think the first Prime does boss fights well because they're more like puzzles. They're not necessarily just about shooting and dodging. And I think that's where this falters. This one is primarily just shoot.
Just shoot, yeah.
So, and there's not enough, I think, way to the final boss is
a pain.
Oh, it's so bad. There's 3 or 4 different phases, and one of the phases is like almost like a shmup. You're like floating through space, and you've just kind of got to move your cursor around and shoot and survive. And if you die in the very last phase of the boss, you got to go all the way back and do that like auto shooting section. It fucking sucks, man. It's so shit. I hate it. Yeah, it's a bad boss. Really, really, really didn't like that boss. But it's cool. I know everyone's made a big deal about the talking NPCs. I think they're quite cool. I think what happens to them narratively is bullshit, but I found a lot of them quite interesting and funny. There's like one soldier that completely geeks out over Samus.
Oh,
it's
nice.
like she cannot believe that she's on a mission with Samus, and then like when you turn into the morph ball first, she's like, look, she's doing morph ball. Look at that. It's really fun. I thought that was quite
That's
cute.
Cool.
But yeah, other than that, I think it's worth giving a go, but it's definitely not. I don't think it justifies how long it was in development for.
No, I also think it's a Metroid. You expect a top tier like 95 Metacritic game, and it's just not that. I think it just let a lot
not even
down.
close. Yeah. I do wonder now if Nintendo just never does a Prime again, because I don't. I guess it depends on how well it sells, not necessarily how critically well acclaimed it is. But
I think it'll be a long
Metroid
time before
traditionally
we see,
has sold poorly, so I don't think negative buzz helps it at all.
No, I think we'll see. Look, Metroid won't go away because I mean it's like one of the longest standing franchises. We'll see like a Dread 2 or something in that realm, like a 2D traditional Metroid. I
hope so.
Yeah,
I'd be keen for like a sequel to Dread. That would be, because Dread is awesome.
It was great.
I actually want to play it again because it's really good.
Yeah, then that.
So I would definitely play one of those again.
Yeah. And that, I mean, just thinking of Dread, that game, like actual art and how those levels are designed, where it's a Metroidvania, but it always got you to where you needed to be, and it interconnected so well. And every time I got a new ability, it just put me. Yeah, I don't know. It just every time I got a new something, I was put where I needed to be. I was like, holy shit! Like, how did they think this through to like put me where I need to be in this maze of levels, whatever. Very clever design.
And then the combat was top notch. Like, those really boss battles were hard.
Yeah.
Like, if you weren't good at blocking and countering and then shooting, it was tough. That final boss I remember being tough as hell.
Yeah,
but
it's good
in a engaging way. It was really, really good. Okay. I want to bounce to something you played over the holidays because it's something I really, really want to play. Dispatch.
Oh, Dispatch. Oh my god, I put Dark
sort of like this game that came out of nowhere at the end of the year, and then suddenly everyone was talking about it. It was up for awards. I would say I would never have predicted that the months prior to it launching, knowing it was like a Telltale-esque thing.
Same. It was this game just kind of not. I wouldn't even say it was on my radar. I just knew of it, and then it launched to. I mean, was it critical acclaim? I know a lot of people loved it. So I think it reviewed pretty well, and it did get nominated for 1 or 2 awards at the Game Awards. And is it made by former Telltale devs? Pretty much.
Yes, as far as I understand, it is. Yeah.
My God, yeah. So if you enjoyed Telltale games of yesteryear, like The Walking Dead, the classic Telltale games, this feels like a real evolution in that it is that interactive story where you are just watching like a comic book or a movie or whatever play out, and you're making choices, and it is like, oh, everyone will remember that, or someone disliked that or whatever, and inevitably you'll see like, oh, your choices led down this path. If you replayed the game, it might take you down a different path. But I think what they really nailed in this game is that they also included like an actual game loop in it, which is what it's called Dispatch. You work as a dispatcher for this agency, and your whole role as Robert, the main character, is to dispatch like this like super low tier team of reformed villains basically. And dispatching is, if you're looking at the video feed, it's this mini game that happens in every episode where you have your team that all have strengths and weaknesses. You get calls and you have to choose like, okay, cool. The call could be a simple thing of there's a cat stuck up a tree. Who do you send to save the cat? From that to like, oh, there's a bank robbery. And these things can alternate between super severe, super simple. But what happens is when the call comes in, it'll be like, okay, cool. there's a giant monster attacking the city. Send somebody who's like strong, but they'll never tell you like the actual keyword you need. They'll never say like send a strength hero. Like use like a synonym or a description. You have to go like, who would be best suited for this role? Let me send them, whatever. Or, more than one person. Let me send 2 or 3 or 4 people. And then obviously when you send a hero, like they're gone for that amount of time. They've got to come back and rest. So if another mission comes in where you need a strength hero, but you've sent your strength hero out, it's like this weird thing of you've got to balance out how are you doing these things. And it's just, it's a good gameplay loop. As you play the game, your heroes also get stronger, they level up, and you can allocate the points. So I think every hero's got like an archetype of, this is your hero who's like generally quite fast. So you can lean into that, go like, I'm just going to keep putting points into speed. Or you go, actually, I want a bit of an all-rounder, like maybe speed and intellect. And you'll sit and you'll level up your 7 to 8 heroes throughout the game. And obviously the dispatch calls get harder because, your heroes level up and the calls get harder. And narratively it all ties together. I won't spoil it, but your dude, Robert, is like a hero who's very experienced. And there's a reason he's in this role because he knows how to handle situations. But the team don't like him. Like I said, it's predominantly like ex-villains who have like kind of reforming into this program, to reintegrate into society as heroes. And it's basically you trying to like get them to work together. And that's the moments before and after the minigame. Like the actual narrative is the story of, how does Robert like, it's kind of spoilery, but it happens very soon at the beginning of the game. Like there's a reason he's no longer being a hero and put to the like this desk job. And it's just such a fun game to play and to like actually watch. I picked it up over the December break again because of the, I'd heard about it and I was like, well, I just want like an 8 to 10 hour game. It's not expensive either. It was like 250, 300 rand. Played it and I must have finished it like in 2 days. I inhaled this game. There's 8 episodes, I think, and they're like 45 minutes to an hour long each.
Oh, okay. Nice
so
and brisk.
you can like play an episode in the evening, or you can just do like and just like inhale 3 to 4 in one go, whatever. But yeah, really, really fun. Even just the visual style and how the story comes together. It's so much fun. Like I thoroughly enjoyed playing it, and I think a lot of people would get joy out of this game.
Yeah, I'm really keen to give it a go because I think, like you said, there's this gameplay aspect to it, which I think is far more involved than a lot of the Telltale ones were. I mean, those were fundamentally adventure games, very point and click. But I think sometimes they were hit or miss with those sorts of things. This seems like it's got a bit more meat to it, but I get the sense from just hearing people talk about it that there's just really good character moments and really good story moments in this that maybe you wouldn't expect from the premise itself.
No.
And I'm really keen to know what those are and get stuck into all these characters because they seem like quite varied and cool.
Yeah. The writing's very sharp. Like there's good humor, and there is a lot of character growth. Just the overall narrative I felt was pretty strong as well. Like at no point it was like, oof, like this, the story falls short because X or the ending didn't land or whatever. Like I thought really cool, pretty original story as well. I mean, we live in a world where, God, there's the typical stuff we expect from Marvel through to like the more gray area, dark stuff of like The Boys and Invincible, where heroes are, they can be like actually bad and murder people or whatever. This sort of sits somewhere in the middle where, I don't know, you look at the heroes, they're all like bright and they've got strong personalities, but they swear they're normal people. It's just such an interesting story for me, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm keen. I've heard some people say that it's sometimes a bit too crass or a bit too, like where there's a lot of swearing for no reason, but then others countering it by saying, well, if you've never worked in like a workplace, this is kind of how people talk as well.
Yeah.
It's very unfiltered. And I guess, if your character or your roster of characters are reformed villains, they're also just like terrible people.
Yeah, exactly.
By virtue of that, so of course they're going to talk like terrible people, if that makes sense. So
yeah.
There's some cool. I'm just looking at the footage here. There's some cool looking guys. There's a bat dude whose name is Sonar, which is quite fun. Quite like that. There's a devil lady, Malevola.
Malevola, she's voiced by Lana Pierce.
Oh, is that the character? I knew she was a voice voice artist. Yeah, I didn't know which character. Yeah. Okay.
No, it's funny because you get your, the abilities you see. It's the sort of thing you would expect. Like Flambe is basically the Human Torch, but he's it's good fun. It's like you have to play this game.
And Aaron Paul is the main character, correct?
Yes, which I didn't realize. I must have played like a good hour or two. I was like, man, I just can't put my finger on this voice. I just can't. I knew there was like quite a cast of characters. I looked at it, I was like, holy shit, it's Aaron Paul. How the hell did they get him for this role? He nails it. He's like a great voice actor. Own that character.
Man, I hope at some point he just says science bitch.
Science
at
bitch.
Some point. Like,
the production quality in this game it's phenomenal. Like, it is that good thing where you're watching a high quality like anime, not even an anime, just like whatever the animation and just the way things play out. And it's one of those things, you're busy watching it happen, but you have to also interact. Like you've got to click. It's like quick time events, whatever. It just surprised me, I think, is what I'm going for. Like I knew people loved it, but I didn't expect to love it as much as I did.
It's quite fascinating that this actually started out as apparently it was pitched to Netflix as an animated show, and they passed on it.
Oh,
and
no,
then
they made a mistake.
It morphed into a game after that. Yeah, which is
I
wonder what would have happened if it never actually became a game and was just a series. Would it have been as popular?
Maybe not, but I mean, I could 100% see it just being a show where instead of this mini game in between stuff, it would just be different scenes of these heroes like doing these jobs, as opposed to these little icons on a screen going off to do whatever. But yeah, the gameplay loop itself, like such a simple premise, but I enjoyed it. I know it might hit or miss for some people. I was like, I know Jeff enjoyed it. Mick is playing and he's like, I just want to like enjoy the game as opposed to having it interrupted by these short moments of this mini game.
So he doesn't actually enjoy the minigame aspect.
Yeah, I don't know. Initially, I don't know if he's come around on it, but I know he wasn't enjoying. Like he just wants. So if you're watching the video feed, he just wants this. Like he wants to watch the story happen, as opposed to having it interrupted by the actual gameplay. Yeah, it's good.
Interesting. Okay, I'm really keen to play it, and now that all the episodes are out and you can kind of just binge it, I think that's how I want to enjoy it. Even though it was kind of cool that their release schedule was weekly, so it was 2 episodes per week, which is not terrible. It's not like I think Telltale got a lot of shit, and rightfully so, for having like 3-4 months between episodes, which I think was outrageous. So.
That's too long. I mean, I binged all of this, but if I was playing 1 or 2 episodes a week, that would be like perfect.
Because that is kind of like a show, fundamentally. It's like you're getting your 2 hours per week, so that's not bad. Okay, I'm going to give that a go for sure. That's Dispatch.
Play it on your...
It's out on console and PC, correct?
You got a Steam Deck. Yeah, play it on your Steam Deck.
Yeah, could give that. I've actually wanted to... I've mentioned it to Shani a bit, and I'm like, I actually want to play it with her, because it's like watching a show, and we can just
100% you could.
Little Dispatch events together. Yeah, so... wanting to do that if we can find the time, because I think that'll be quite a cool experience.
Even the dispatching parts, it's not time sensitive. Like when a call comes in, you can just like sit and read like, okay, cool, like what am I going to do? So you could 100%.
It's not like quick time events that you have to react quickly to. Yeah.
No, I haven't done it, but I do wonder. I don't know to what depth they go into. Is it heavy rain levels of if you miss this quick time event, like an actual different scene plays out, or is it just you don't really have to put anything in?
Jason dies.
Even that said, another thing about it, when you start the game, you can choose. Like, do you want to be interactive, or do you want to like just watch the things happen?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So Mick chose the wrong option.
You chose no. I think you always have to play the dispatching part, but the actual, like, when a scene's playing out and if it's an action scene, you've got to click at the right time or push. I think you can just
see.
like get rid of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you reckon there's going to be a second season? I know they've said like they were taken aback at how popular this was. But do they kind of set something up for a second season?
Look, the story's pretty self-contained, but they 100% could make a second season. Like there's where the story ends is like they could lean into this universe so hard. They could introduce more people, or like even just focus on this core group of people and how, like, what is their next threat they face, or like what happens. Yeah, they definitely could, and I'm pretty sure given the success they'll lean into it. Maybe Netflix would be like, yes, we want the show now, just give us the show and fill in the in between stuff with different scenes, whatever. I don't know. Could happen.
I'm keen to see. I think I read that they can't take as long with the second season as they did the first, obviously, because I guess they had infinite runway with the first one in terms of time, because no one was expecting it. So
well,
it's cool that a game like this can kind of come out of nowhere and just have this massive impact. So
I don't know how many copies it sold, but I think it sold enough that I'm sure financially, like they could make a second game, like no problem.
I hope so. It's good. I think last year was filled with a lot of stories like that. Just indie games. I mean, you look at this, you look at Sandfall and Expedition 33, these big surprises out of nowhere that take familiar tropes and trappings and kind of put their own spin on it and make them feel fresh and new again. So I don't think I would have guessed that would have happened for a Telltale style game, but it's cool that it's back. Yeah. Especially since the resurrected Telltale seems to not be putting out anything either. That whole Wolf Among Us 2 thing came out like 4 years ago and haven't heard of it since. So
I forgot that game existed.
Who knows? I mean, yeah, same. They re-announced it at, I think, the Game Awards in 2022, and nothing's happened since then. And if they come out with a 3-month gap between episodes again, it'll just be like, okay, well, this is not working.
No.
Cool. Let's, I think, hop onto Arc Raiders, because that's new, and we don't have to talk about Silksong again. But we
can talk about Silksong all day, every day. No, I don't have footage for Arc Raiders. I should have grabbed footage because I've played.
Dare you?
I have played this game. I got it mid-December. Sometime in December. Okay.
Are you 100+ hours?
I'm close to 100. I'm like 90 something hours in this game.
Whoa. Crazy.
I played a lot of this over December. I continue to play it into January. And it's a dangerous thing because I'm like, I've got the time now because it's not review season. I'm not really playing anything other than a quick thing like Dispatch or whatever. What am I going to do when I have to give my attention to other games? Arc Raiders is always going to call my name. So if you don't know, Arc Raiders is an extraction shooter, I guess, where it's one of the things where, you load into a game, you don't have any loot. The point is you've got to loot the session you're in, and then the way to keep that loot is you've got to extract. If you die in that session, you lose that loot. Like that's that. But any loot you take back to Speranza, your home base, like lives there, and then you obviously can use the loot you have to like gear up, build better loot, and then go do another run. It makes you stronger. But I think what makes Arc Raiders so interesting is that it's like a PvE or PvP. You load into a map with, I don't know what the exact number is. I'm gonna guess like 15 to 20 other players.
Okay, that's more than I thought.
No, the maps are pretty big, and a map session lasts no longer than 30 minutes. Okay, but I think why Arc Raiders has really taken off is that it kind of leans into human nature. It's so unpredictable. Like you could load into a game and you can get aggressive players who their sole purpose is to just like get in, fuck other people's shit up, and get out with their loot. Or, in my experience, you can load in and everyone's just super friendly. You can just chat to people. There's proximity chats. Go like, hey man, I don't want to fight. Because when you load into a map, you don't obviously load in all 20 people in the same room. You load into different parts of the map, and you could be in a hospital looting a room, and then somebody can run past, and it's a bit tense because you're like, are they going to shoot me, or are they just here also trying to find something for a quest, whatever. And I think the reason the game's become so viral and taken off is, like I said, it's that human nature of just conversations that happen or just unexpected things happening. And there's something like when I've described the game to people, it's the extraction part is fun and interesting, but there's also just something cathartic about. I don't know, like visually the game looks great. I don't know if you've seen any footage of it. It's like a gorgeous really looking game, actually, and like it's
cool aesthetic as well.
Yeah, really cool aesthetic. I don't think it's that resource intensive. Like I don't have I mean, my PC is not weak, but my PC is old at this stage. Well, my graphics card is pretty old, runs super well. But I think the cathartic nature also just comes in like the loop of, you walk into a room, you open a drawer, and there's just a sound effect that happens. You watch all these things pop up. You go, cool, like what I need, it's stupid, like the things you need for quests or to level up your stuff back at base. But that loop of going in, getting stuff, maybe fighting another person or just chatting to another person and just doing it on repeat. I don't know, there's something so addictive about it. And there's a reason I've played like nearly 100 hours because I've just enjoyed that loop so much. And it's also, it's a thing of, you can play the game how you want. So me, for example, like playing, when I first started out, it was a thing of, I'm new to this game. I'm going to follow the quests aren't particularly like groundbreaking. They really are just kind of tutorial-esque, teaching you how to play the game. You'll talk to somebody back at the base like, oh, I need you to go to this thing on the surface and I'll give you this reward. And it is like you go to the thing, interact with it, that's the quest done. But just doing, so you could do that. You could literally just be like, I'm here to do quest and to level up my stuff. Or you can be the person who's just, like I said, you just want to go fuck people up and that's your thing. But you can play it however you want. And I think that's why it's just been so addictive and interesting to so many people, because it's I think it's it's just so unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what moment you're going to have. And it's that cool thing of there's just so many water cooler moments. Like I've got so many stories of things that have happened to me in this game, or just funny or like heartbreaking moments that have happened. Like I've met so many random people where it's also the thing when you meet a person like they don't know what to make of you. Like, are you gonna backstab them in the end? Like I've got a story where I've basically done all the quests. Like I've upgraded all my workbenches, whatever. So when I load into a solo game, I'm like, I'm just gonna help other players. I'm not there to really loot anything. I'm just gonna run around the map, see if anyone's being aggressive to other players, and like I'll help those players defend themselves, whatever. I came across a dude fighting a big arc. Oh, I'm just talking about the arc as well. I'll get to that. Arc are the like the AI enemy robots in the game. So this dude is fighting
the E part of the PvE.
Yeah, the E part. So this dude's fighting this huge arc. I'm like, I'll help him take it down. So I help this dude take him down, and eventually there's a couple of people fighting this big arc. Okay, and we kill it, and like this one dude loots it. I'm like, cool man, like I'll help you get to extract. And this is like pretty early in the map, so I'm helping this dude, like walking along. We're fighting arc. There's a few aggro-looking people. Like we talk them down. We go off to extract. And I was actually on Discord with good pal John Michael. I was like, man, it would really suck if this dude shot me in the back now. And he's like, that would be like a top 10 anime betrayal. Okay. And in the game, I said to this guy, I was like, don't you dare shoot me. That would be a top 10 anime betrayal moment. The guy didn't have a mark, just whatever. You best believe get to extract. When you extract, you got to like, there's a keyboard you got to type in. It's like 5 seconds, and your character's obviously doing that. You can't do anything. Does this
sort of like the Helldivers thing where you're putting in a code?
Yeah. Does this person not shoot me in the back, kill me, and loot my body? I was so cross. But it's like there's just stories like that where it's such a thing that happens. Like I've never had that in any other game. And I've had really cool stuff. I've had another story where I met like a Swedish dude who barely spoke English. He's like, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm trying to find this room, whatever. I'm trying to find, I've got a key for this room. And I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, put it on the ground, take your item, show me. Shows you the item. I'm like, cool, I'll take you there. I know where to go. Long story short, this poor dude got killed by an arc and I didn't have an item to revive him. And he, in broken English, is like, you can have my stuff. It's okay. I was like, I'll remember you, random person. I'll take your stuff.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I love that sort of emergent gameplay.
Yeah, the emergent gameplay is good. And just on the arc themselves, so the surface, so in terms of story, forget the story, but long story short, humanity's like living underground in a city called Speranza. and you as an arc raider have to go to the surface to loot stuff for the civilization underground. And the reason you live underground is because the surface has been overtaken by these machines called ARC. Like, I don't know if there's an acronym, doesn't matter. Stories like super forgettable to me. I'm not sure for the story.
Autonomous robotic creatures.
Something. So they, between looting, there's all these ARC, from little flying ARC to these huge ARC, that stalk streets across.
It's really weird that ARC is their collective noun. That's really strange.
But what's really cool is that the gameplay is not, like, the ARC themselves are so unpredictable. Like, a good example is you get these ARCs, there's different versions of them, but they fly around. But if you play in any other game, like a enemy will usually have like movement you can predict, like, this enemy is going to stand still or hover and shoot me, or they're going to like bear left and right and shoot me. The ARC is so unpredictable, like they never move the same way. Like they're always, I don't know if it's AI or how they program, but it just every encounter feels good with them. Like you can't just sit back like, oh, I'm just going to kill this ARC. Because if you do that, if you just rest on your laurels, you're like, I'll play it easy. Like you could probably die and you will die if you take it easy. So
I've heard they're quite hectic. Like they are very tough to take down when playing solo.
No, the bigger ARC maybe, but even then you get weapons and tools that will let you take the bigger ARC down. So maybe not, like, I haven't fought any of the huge gargantuan ARC yet. I'm talking more.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like, they're big, but I'm not talking like the huge end game boss ARC. Like that, you probably need a lobby full of people to get together. But anything smaller than that, like, you can solo it. You get the tools. It can be difficult, but you definitely do it. But I mean, have the E part of the PvE with random people running around, like quests sprinkled throughout. It's just such an interesting game, and like, there's a reason it's so popular, because it just feels fresh and different to anything else I've played in a long time.
For all the stories where you've been backstabbed, I do recall seeing that the clip of you, I think you were playing with John Michael and maybe someone else, and you were running in the hallway, you're like, don't shoot, I come in peace. And then you take off proc chat, we're going to fuck these guys up as soon as they come out of the corner. And then they chose to shoot at you first, and you were so offended by that.
No, so I will say, if you're playing solo, you'll find most people are super friendly. As long as you make your intentions very clear. Like, I've had it where I've seen a person, I'm like, hey, I've got the jump on you. I could shoot you. I'm not. Okay, I'm just running through.
I'm being the bigger person here.
No, and people are like, 95% of people are like, yeah, me too. And you run past each other, you just say like, cool, have a good game, and that's that. But the moment you do duos or trios where you lobby up with other people, the chance of fighting is way more common. Like I've played a lot of duos with John Michael where we play and we're way more defensive and maybe more offensive, purely because like we don't want to get shot by other people, because people are way more trigger happy in duos. But there have been moments where we've been caught off guard, where we've spoken our way out of it, like, this team definitely have the jump on us, but like, let's play it like, hey, we're friendly, and you'll just pass each other. But duos and trios are typically, that's way more PvP. If you want to fight other people, that's where you go.
Interesting. I'm glad that it is viable solo, because I think when this came out, and especially when Marathon was having its like alpha beta that eventually got it delayed, there was a lot of talk about how this was specifically for groups of people, and your solo experience is very compromised as a result.
No.
But I've over time, like, especially what you're saying, a lot of people being like, I actually prefer playing Arc Raiders solo.
Yeah.
Because it lends itself more to this emergent moments. Yeah. And it's cool that you can. Because I think I love playing with friends. It's really fun. But I remember during the PUBG days, I had much, much better times with friends than I did in solos. And I was worried that Arc Raiders was a very similar thing, just because, your life is different and you don't necessarily have the time to always party up when everyone else is online. So it's cool that it is completely viable solo, and gives me more reason to kind of like check it out.
Yeah, I think most of my game time has been solo. Like, I've played a lot of duos and trios, but predominantly my first 30, 40 hours it was just me playing the game, enjoying it by myself.
Has this made you more interested to check out Marathon when it's out beginning of March
Is
now?
Marathon an extraction shooter as well?
Yes. Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know.
technically, yes, but it's also like a hero shooter. But it is, at its core, an extraction shooter.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll try it out, but I can't tell you an extraction shooter is something I would have ever played. Like Escape from Tarkov and all these other games have existed for years now, and I've just had no interest in playing them. Arc Raiders, honestly, what got me to try Arc Raiders was the fact that Miklos played it and loved it, and I'm like, this is not his kind of game at all. I think he got it because of all the hype. People like play this game, and when he was like, guys, you have to play this game, I was like, huh. I'm very much like, I play Counter-Strike and these competitive shooters. Like, it speaks to me, but if it can speak to someone like him who's just not necessarily interested in that kind of gameplay, I'm like, well, there must be something here. And I'm with him.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, yes, everyone else should play this game. You have to try this game.
I'm keen to give it a go. I really do want to give it a go. Maybe when Silksong releases its clutches on me, then I'll have some time to at least. It's cool that I can try it on your Steam family thing.
Yeah.
Like, unlike Battlefield 6, which is just like, nah, no sharing for your family.
Is that because it's an EA game? It's like, no.
No, apparently that the whole sharing to your family on Steam is an opt-in thing. So some games just don't support it at all. It's not a given. Like, the developer has to like okay it. So yeah, that was news to me until the whole Battlefield 6 thing happened. I thought it was just an automatic thing, but turns out not. So the more you know.
The more you know. Yeah, play Arc Raiders solo, like do a couple quests, I get a feel for the game, because I think over to like it is quite there's a movement thing you got to like get a feel for, and it can be a bit overwhelming because especially when you're looting, like I don't know what the hell I'm meant to loot, like what is valuable, what I keep, what I get rid of, like it can be overwhelming, but give it a little bit of time, everything starts to click. It's really fun.
And the stuff that you loot and upgrade, does it give you better weapons to take into new runs?
So basically the stuff you're upgrading is like there's a whole lot of different workbenches. You know, you've got like a medical station, a gun station, a gear station, and it's like if you upgrade them, it just lets you craft better stuff. You know, like better weapons, better. You know, you get like shitty weapons to higher grade weapons, whatever, which they're all viable in some way. But what do you need to craft those weapons? Oh, you need resources. Where do you get those resources? I guess you got to go do a run to like grab like random parts to build this thing, whatever.
But you said now that you've upgraded all your workbenches. So what's like the thing you're working towards now?
So in the game, you can't just build everything. You get blueprints. So like even though I've got an upgraded like gun station, I can't build every weapon in the game. In order to get...
you need a blueprint.
I need a blueprint. Okay. So you do runs, and blueprints are like when you're looting a random draw, that thing always has a small chance to spawn like a blueprint. And you have to extract with it and then learn it, and then you can craft it.
Got you. Okay, that's cool. So there is a reason to continue playing even after you've upgraded all these benches.
Yeah, and they've introduced... it's called Expeditions, where you can basically wipe your character and start from scratch, but then you get like a permanent upgrade. And so I didn't mention this, but there's a whole skill tree as well. You get experience and levels, and you can, upgrade certain passive abilities. So, for example, you can improve your stamina, how much stamina a sprint uses, whatever. If you wipe your character, you start at level 0, but you also get given 5 free levels and a bigger inventory space.
Oh.
So which is cool, because for someone like me, I'm not going to wipe my character. It's taken me so many hours to get to the point I am, to reach the level I am, to get all the gear I have. But if you're somebody who is going to play Arc Raiders for hundreds of hours, it's cool. You go, okay, cool. I'm going to wipe my character, do the loop again, and I'll get like a permanent buff every time I do that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Okay. I'm keen to give this a go, for sure. And even it being new, it's not that expensive on Steam. No. It's like $700.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty easy recommend, I think. Yeah, I'm keen to give it a go.
Nice.
Cool.
Good.
That is Ark Raiders, the new addiction for Matty. That's what he's going to be playing for the most of 2026, I bet. I'm curious to see what Marathon does now that it's got a release date, and people seem to be a bit more hyped for it, but there's a beta happening in February, and we'll see, I think, after that very quickly if, they've actually addressed the things that people hated with the initial sort of alpha that was out last year. But yeah, we'll see. Cool. So the only other thing that I've been playing is something you put in, 60, 70 hours into last year. Hollow Knight Silksong.
You've caught up.
I finally, I see, this is why I wanted to get things out of the way so that I could just pour my time into it, because it was the same thing with the original Hollow Knight. I started it and I was bouncing between it and other things, and I never really got into it that way. It was only when I had nothing else to play but that I really got stuck into its world and everything started clicking. And this is not to say that you need tons of hours for it to start getting fun. It's just, I think it demands a certain type of focus because its world is so intricate and interconnected that if you are bouncing between it for an hour at a time, you're just not, it's not going to work in the same way. And now that I've given it that time, it's just so good. I've even come around on this, so we'll get to what I enjoy, but I remember the big criticism I had initially, and one that you even brought up in Game of the Year, were the runbacks. I don't think they're that bad. And I say that because now that I've really done many of the bosses, there are so many shortcuts that if you just poke around a little bit, there are definitely way shorter routes to most of the bosses. I think there are one or two that I find where it's there is no way around this. The runback is shit and it's long. I know one of them was before you hit Act 2, you've got to get to the gate of the Citadel, and there's a boss right at the start there, and the run back to that boss is bullshit. There's just, you have to traverse that whole area where the ground has those worms that eat you up, and you've got to do lots of platforming over these bells, and there's loads of enemies. That run back was probably the worst one in the game so far. But the rest have been relatively straightforward, and I think, not to say that it's overblown, I still think runbacks are a bit shit, but they are way more manageable than I thought they would be based off of how people were speaking about them, so much. Maybe it's a thing that at the beginning of the game, it feels worse just because you're underpowered and you're still getting used to everything. But where I am now in the game, and I have pretty much most of the abilities, it feels trivial sometimes to get back to a boss, which is great because the bosses are getting harder and harder.
Yeah. I think it's that though, is that it's the runbacks aren't impossible. It just feels like a dated thing. It's unnecessary.
No, for sure.
Do I need to spend all this time running back when why not just put me at the boss? I think that's where a lot of frustration.
It's more of an annoyance.
Yeah. And there's one or two that come to mind where I don't think you've got to them yet. I'll know and you'll know.
What, the runbacks are bad?
Yeah, there's one in particular, and I don't think you've done that part of the game or that boss. I'm pretty sure when you get there, you'll know what I'm talking about, or you'll at least message me oh my god, this part of the game bullshit. When you get there, hit me up. I'll be yes.
I mean, there are parts of this game that I think are bullshit. I think there are enemy gauntlets that are bullshit. I'm currently still doing one that there's one that is required to finish Act 2, I think, because it's one of the 3 main objectives you need to complete, which that enemy gauntlet was the reason I stopped and started doing all this other side, all these other side things, just because I was this is nonsense. This is 10 waves of enemies, and the last wave is just absolute bullshit given the limited space you have to move. And I hate it, and I was frustrated by that. But then when I started doing other things, I was I'm going to go just fill out the map a bit more, go poke around at things. Maybe I'll find things that'll make this easier. And absolutely, that's exactly what happened. I found the really snowy area where you get a very, very cool ability after a very cool climb up a mountain. I found I think 3 different parts of the map that I didn't even know existed at that point. That gave me new weapons I could equip and a whole new crest, which you were telling me about. You're like, no, you'll find one that is like super, super cool. And I was like, the hunter is pretty great. I quite enjoy playing Hornet as a hunter. And then I found that crest and I was like, oh shit. Like as soon as I got it, I was like, this is the one Matty was talking about, 100%. Yeah. And that I went back to that enemy gauntlet last night, actually. And I think it's been like 6 or 7 hours since I tried it. And from the get-go, I mean, I didn't finish it, but I got to the final stage of it like immediately without having to rely on any tools, without having to rely on anything else. Because now my attack is stronger. I understand the game a bit better. I understand how to move a bit better. And I've got these crests that make the combat a bit more manageable in these tight spaces. So I think it's cool. Like we were talking about Metroid Prime earlier, where abilities were just merely keys. I think in Silksong, they are very much the opposite. You definitely have ones that allow you to access different parts of the map, for sure. But most of the abilities change the way you play the game and augment the way you play the game to the point where now I've got that really cool power fancy of running through areas that previously were quite challenging.
Yeah,
and I'm just like breezing past them. Like enemies are like not a concern for me. I've got platforming abilities that make the platforming challenges trivial. I can just get through these areas. But by the same token, there are still areas that are challenging me, expecting me to use these things in different ways. And so it's just like, it's really, really well balanced between the two. And then just obviously the way the world interconnects is just phenomenal. I mean, the first game showcased this, like Team Cherry understands this to another level. The way you fall, like you'll take a path and you'll go through a portion of the map where it's completely uncharted. So you're like, oh, where's this going to pop me out? And it like puts you back to this locked gate that you saw maybe 20 hours ago. And you're like, oh my God, this is how I get there. And now there's this massive shortcut between these two major areas that previously wasn't accessible. It's so cool. And this is the joy I'm having now, is looking at my map and looking for little hallways that are incomplete. Because I think Team Cherry does a really good job of, they hide a lot of parts from you, but the map has like very subtle clues of things you've missed. It's not like explicitly like, oh, this is a grayed out area that you've not gone to. There are those, but sometimes it'll be something as little as, oh, the map kind of doesn't cleanly cut off here. You should probably go there. And when you go there, you're like, oh my God, there's a way around this. Or, oh, there's a destructible wall that I never realized here. But it is hinted at. It's not like obscure and kind of impossible to discern just from the map itself. And I've really enjoyed going back to even like starting areas and finding new things to do there. So yeah, it's really, really good. I happened upon an area yesterday that I totally forgot. You have this ability where you like you use Hornet's like needle as a guitar or sitar or something. And I've come across like 3 or 4 of those doors now where I'm like, shit, I can actually open these now. And I came across a character that upgrades my crest, and I was like, oh my God, this has actually changed a few things. I don't understand the requirements for upgrades because I just got 2 upgrades off the bat.
It's
it's weird.
I haven't looked it up, but it wasn't like a clear cut thing of like, oh, you need to do X or whatever. I just went back every now and then. It's like, oh, I'll upgrade your crest. It's like, I don't know what I did to deserve this, but thank you.
Yeah. I got like 1 crest upgrade. I upgraded the hunter one, and then I got an upgrade where I can keep a yellow tool equipped regardless of the quest, which is the crest, which is awesome. Now I have really compass on there constantly.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's so useful to just have that slot freed up. It's great. But I'm like, oh, okay. I assume I can upgrade all the rest of my crests, but I don't know. Like, there's no indication of what resource you need or what needs to happen in the game for that to happen. So again, it's just all these things that are like weird and obtuse, but not completely indecipherable. It again reminds me of a Souls like From Software definitely does the same thing.
Did I talk to the characters in the right order that I've got these crests? Did I kill someone off by mistake unintentionally?
Did I find these characters at the right times? Like I found the what's his name? Green Prince very late in the game. And now I've come across him at certain points of like in the Citadel, and the dialogue makes me think that I found him quite late because he's like, oh, you've done this thing that I didn't even ask of you for me already. And I'm like, I did that like 20 hours ago. Was I meant to have found you way before then, or
No, the same
just
happened
like
to me.
by chance?
I found him because you found him in
Sinners Road.
Sinners Road behind that in that cell, and you let him out. And
you have to use a key.
I freed him, and I did not see that guy for the longest time. And I kept saying to John, Michael, did you find this character? Yes. Like, where is he? Like, none of us found him. And also, like, you found him. I was like, have I? Like, maybe there's a. I don't think there's a specific order you should do something, but I wonder what the intended order was, for you to find him. But I found him so much later, and it's like I was like, I don't know what I've done, but I've clearly like sped up this quest unintentionally, or have done something.
The understanding I have based on the dialogue was that you can and probably should find him before you even take on the Clockwork Dancers, and I'm just like, how? Yeah. That is like so far. And Sinners Road was so challenging to get through, even late game. It's like I probably would have bounced off of that place. I found Sinners Road
pretty early, let me tell you. Man,
no, those little like dogs that jump on you, they were killing me so much. I can't imagine going there with like only 4 pips of health. There's no way. But again, you found it early. I found it 40 hours in, and I was like,
that's the beauty of the game, though, is that you playing it completely different to I played it. It's John, Michael. I mean, like I've said this a million times. We were playing the game like simultaneously, and it was such a funny thing because we desperately wanted to talk to each other about what we were doing, but we had to like figure out how to talk about stuff without spoiling. Like, oh, have you done? And like, oh, you have. Cool. We can talk about like this area or this thing that happened. But we did things in a completely different order. I mean, that I've told you a million times, that ice area you did.
The slab.
No, the actual mountain, sorry. You did that like relatively early compared to how we both did it, because you get an ability there. Like, I found that area. I looked at it, I was like, oh, there's this area here. I'll come back to it. And I went off and I did so many other things. And I came back. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about this area, and I did it, and I got an ability. It's like, oh my god, this would have made the game so much simpler.
It's changed the game for me, honestly.
Like, why?
It's so useful.
I hate past me for forgetting this area existed, but it just shows and the game is still very playable.
And it's also an optional thing. You can completely finish the game without getting that. Like, you don't need that. Yeah. But it's the same reason. Like, I got there by chance. In the same way, there's an enemy very similar to Bloodborne that will attack you and then take you to another area. And that happened to me, and you told me it happened to John Michael, but you never had that happen. You happened upon the area.
Yeah, he was like, have you been to the slab? I was like, no. And then I found it. It's like, oh, did you get taken there? I was like, no, I just found it. Like, I just walked there. He's like, oh, like I got taken there. Like Bloodborne. I was like, oh, that didn't happen to me at all. Yeah,
and that moment's wild because they steal everything from you. Like, it's so funny. You're running around as Hornet, but she has no cloak.
Like nothing, yeah.
So she's just got like a stick figure underneath that cloak, but still got the really big head. It looks so funny. Oh. And then you don't even have your weapon, so you're just like kicking people to death, but it's like so weak. It really does make you feel powerless in the same way that prison in Bloodborne makes you feel. And it happens out of nowhere. I was just running around the map. This new enemy pops up, hits me once, and that's it. I'm just taken to that area.
What area?
It's cool.
What is it like the last area you found? Like, what are you currently doing? And let me just say, listeners, if you're listening, maybe if you're worried about spoilers, just the virtual ears for like a minute or two.
So I'm at the point where every now and then I'm like, I know I'm missing something here. I'm just going to look something up. So for now, it's like I need a simple key for a door in the... What's the fireplace called? I forgot.
Like, it's not Bone Bottom, but it's like one of those.
Something docks, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So there's a door there that needs a simple key, and I know it leads to another portion of the map, but I've used 3 simple keys already, and I don't know where to get the last one.
It's like a merchant, somebody you just can't remember who has it.
Yeah, and so I looked it up, and I didn't realize this. There's only 4 simple keys in the whole game, and there's only 4 places to use them.
Yeah.
So you can't like accidentally lock yourself out of things, but if you don't know where to look for that last one, you'll just like never find it.
Yeah.
And so I know where to get that now, so I've got it, and I want to go and unlock that area. So that's the next thing I want to do, and then maybe I'll finally go back and get the last thing I need to kind of conclude Act 2.
Yeah, have you been doing all the quests?
So many quests. Yeah, I've been doing so many optional bosses and stuff like that. So I haven't done all of them. Like I told you, that beast fly in the lava area can get fucked. That's an absolutely ridiculous boss. But I've done a lot of the side ones that I think will pop up in Act 3 because they're like repeats of bosses, but in more challenging scenarios. Which I can tell it's very similar to the God Eater stuff in the first Hollow Knight. Like you are playing the bosses, but with completely different parameters that make them a lot harder to deal with. So I'm doing those, and I'm enjoying the side quest stuff, and I'm enjoying just poking around the world. I'm having a great time happening upon all these new things. And I think there's a lot more to find now that I know how the map is like connecting to one another. I can see blank spots, and I'm like, oh, there's still. I think when I sent you that screenshot, I was like, I think I've uncovered most of the map, and you're like, you've done a good portion. And since then, I've unlocked like 5 other areas.
Yeah, you must send me another screenshot because I'm interested to know like how much more you've unlocked. Yeah,
so much now.
It's that same thing with Hollow Knight where you and I are both playing like, man, this map just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And with Silksong, I was like, yeah, my map's pretty full. And it just kept getting bigger and bigger. I was like, holy shit, they did it again.
I mean, I'm coming up to almost double the time I spent on Hollow Knight. I think my completion on Hollow Knight for the true ending was 36 hours. I think yesterday I hit about 58, 59 hours. But it doesn't feel like that.
No,
I've just been...
It's just wild.
I only get reminded of it when Shani is like, are you nearly done, Silksong? I'm like, you know what? I don't know.
Like, Shani, please.
It's like I've actually been playing this for 3-4 weeks, on and off. It's it's really good. It's definitely going to leave a hole in my heart when it's done, because it's one of those that it's like, I really enjoyed that, and now I need to find something else to occupy my time in the same way. So I said it in Discord, but this probably would have been my game of the year.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, now that you've played more of Silksong, would you put it above Hades too?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
like,
that's where I fell
it hits a different
year.
type of my brain.
Yeah, no, but that's where I fell last year, where Expedition 33, like I said, my game of the year purely because it was just like completely original, like didn't expect it. But Silksong, Hades 2, great game, but Silksong was above it for me just because, the way it's designed and it comes together, and like you've just said, you've played it for like 60 hours, and I was like, yeah, my playtime was long, and that entire time was me just like engaged, like, where am I going next? Like every evening, 1 to 3 hours, like, cool, I'm booting up the game, I'm gonna walk into this area, but I don't know where the hell I'm gonna end my evening. Like, am I gonna do this whole area? Am I gonna find 5 different areas? It was just so much fun.
I think that's the coolest thing. Like I do the same. I boot it up going, oh, I'm gonna do this thing, and 2 hours later I'm like, oh, I got sidetracked because there's this thing on the map that I found, or this area that I found by accident. Now I've gone down that route. I never feel like the game has wasted my time.
No, it's
the only thing that really frustrates me is just some of the enemy gauntlets I think are a bit unfair. But I do think that's balanced by pushing you towards exploring the world and finding ways to make those fights easier. And also, I think not becoming precious about exploiting the tools that you have. For the longest time, I was like, no, I just want to attack. I don't want to use all these tools. Some of them feel a bit cheap, whatever. Now I just abuse them. Like, if the game is going to feel unfair, then make it fair by using the tools they give you. You're not breaking it in an odd way. So, yeah, I once I got over that like mental hurdle, it's made a world of difference, and I'm having just a really, really good time. So, Team Cherry, they know how to make a game. Who knew?
Who's the last boss you fought, if you remember off the top of your head? No pressure.
I fought very recently the second version of the that stupid fly with the red cone nose. Yeah. So I know the first time you fight 2 and one gets away.
Yeah.
And now I fought the other one, and that boss fucking irritates. I don't know why, but the bouncing of that projectile just fucks me up. I just don't know where it's going half the time. And that arena again, the arena they put you in is so small that like avoiding his attacks are like pretty painful. So I did the run back for him sucked because it was quite long. But that was the last boss I fought.
Was that that area? Is that the area where you had to like knock the orbs and it like makes the platforms? I can't remember.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one. And there's lots of spiky stuff.
How good is the platforming there though? I was like, Team Cherry could forget Metroidvania if they made like a Celeste. Shit, I'm there. Like they just get it. They just know how to make platforming feel good.
that mountain pass with all the platforming is just phenomenal. It's very Celeste-like.
Yeah.
Same thing with the the Citadel core where you have to go all the way to the top, and there's all these like buzzsaws and little hooks that like you latch onto. That was really good platforming section as well. They it's funny because I've gone back to some of the starting areas, and a lot of the areas where I'm like, damn, I just can't get this pogoing or bouncing right now. It's trivial. Just like,
it's good.
Easy days. Yeah. They definitely know what they do about. They know what they're doing when it's like ramping up the difficulty of this thing and understanding where a player is going to be in terms of like skill before they start giving you really ridiculous things to do. It's really good. And I think it feels unfair in the first few hours because it is there's a big expectation from you as a player to get these things quickly. But when you go back to it, it's like, oh, okay, they had to do this because it really escalates really, really quickly. And you need to get good at this fundamental thing first before they can start pushing these other things at you. Yeah. Now it's like the diagonal bouncing feels so natural and so good. Whereas the first 5 hours, I was like, I cannot get this. It just feels weird.
Felt off, Yeah,
it's
good, man. What a game.
Good. Now the vertical pogo feels weird to me because I'm just like not used to it.
Yeah, you've got muscle memory for the other thing.
Diagonal. Exactly. Yeah,
man.
Great game. Really, really good game.
So good.
Silksong in 2026, who knew? Do you think the next game they'll make you can play as... Is it Shakara?
Oh.
The person who gives you the
I
maps?
hope so. That's what I also... That was like one of my first tweets in the game. I was like, man, this is the next game. I think it is so
cool.
Yeah, what a cool character.
She's joined me in one fight, and I know there's so many different ways you can get NPCs to join the fights for you, but it's like that Bloodborne thing where you have to do things in certain orders at certain times, and give me a game about Sherma. I'll do
yourself a favor. When you've rolled credits, go to the wiki and read up on characters. It'll be like, oh, this character will be here if you do this, or like die if you don't, and it's like, whoa, like what the hell?
Yeah,
it is 100% like that's inspiration from software. Like I have no doubt.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
There's
and the story. I mean, the story is very vaguely told, and I think there's lots happening in the background. That
story though as well is like so in the nose with like themes of religion, and that's like, man, it's really, really good.
Yeah, like who knew religion could corrupt? That's basically what Silksong is saying. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Really, really cool story, and I think slightly less vague than the first one, especially because Hornet can talk.
Which I really like as well.
But it's still got these
things. So nice.
Yeah, I love that Hornet can talk.
Like you get her personality, and she's such a cool character.
Yeah. Do you think she's Portuguese? Because every time she talks, she goes "de nada," and I'm like,
"De nada."
Interesting. Yeah.
she could be. She's wearing red. Yeah.
There's at least 2 instances where characters like shuffled up to her and she's just kicked them in the face, and it makes me laugh every single time.
Do you know, on that last thing before we bounce, do you know how to taunt in the game?
What? No.
Yeah, I did not figure that out till like 20, 30 hours.
You can taunt?
If you push up, I think it's the diagonal arrow up, that's a taunt button in the game. And if... Yes. Trust me, it's just a taunt.
So like up on the D-pad?
Yeah.
Or...
That's it.
What does it do?
It's just a taunt. But what's cool is that if you... what's the map maker's name? Is it Shakira? Shakira? Shakira. If you... So one of the tools you get is you can get her ring to throw. If you equip that and you taunt, she makes the cling... Hornet does it.
Oh, that's cool.
So cool.
That's very cool.
So you best believe you got to farm aura when you get there. You get into a boss fight, you just go ching.
I don't even have her tool yet. I wonder how to get that.
I can't remember, but you can get the you can throw those little rings. And if it's such a small detail, if you equip it and you taunt, she makes the same like cling. So good.
I really like that if you, depending on where you are, if you play your little musical thing, like you play music, you get different songs, like the characters sing. There's a door somewhere where there's something on the other end that is like banging on the gate. It seems like a big enemy, and I don't know how to get to it.
Yeah.
And I started playing music in front of it, and it like stopped banging the gate and started like singing a song, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Nice
that part of the game baffled me for a long time as well.
I've run around that room a bunch. I'm like, I'm gonna come back to it because I don't actually know what to do.
I looked it up. Just look it. Trust me. The thing to get to that room is like, oh, like I just completely missed this. Like I don't know how I missed it, but it's such a small thing.
Yeah, I don't have an issue looking some of those things up, especially when you're like 60, 70 hours deep. I did that with Hollow Knight as well. And that's not to say it's too obscure. It's just like sometimes it's the map is big and you just miss a few things.
Look that particular thing up. You're like, oh, like it's kind of obvious, but I missed it. Like I missed it as well. And you're like, it's actually not that obvious, but I can see how it was, like how this is a solution or whatever. Great.
Silksong is great.
Talk about it. Great game. I could talk about it for hours. Let's just keep going.
Even me.
Our podcast. It's great.
Even me. I really, really cannot wait to see what they do next.
Yeah.
I know they said they're doing DLC now for Silksong, and they did some really good stuff for Hollow Knight. So I'm curious to see what they add in here. But yeah, what they do in terms of a whole next game, I'm not sure. Very curious to see.
Yeah.
I think they just do another one of these, to be honest. I don't see them moving into something entirely different.
No.
You know, give me a Sherma game. Give me a Shikara game. Or give me... Oh, what's that little bug on a wheelchair with a shotgun? Yeah, fucking give me a game about him.
It's a shotgun.
Cool.
Which bug
There's
is
a dude with like a beard who sometimes appears when you're fighting things in the Citadel, and he's got like a gun. He looks like a hunter.
I know what you're talking about. I just can't think of the name.
I don't know his name. I've only come across him once.
Does he ride a bug?
He rides a bug. He's not in a wheelchair. He rides a bug. That's right. Yeah, that dude.
Great.
I think his name's Zed or Zeb or something like that.
I can't remember. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That dude.
Man,
that dude. Apparently you can fight him. So
there are a lot of... You gotta finish this game, man. So much stuff I want to talk to you about.
Just openly talk about it.
Yeah, there's so much stuff. I'm like, yes, X, Y, Z. I'm like, I can't say that because it's a spoiler.
I'm kind of hoping that a lot of the side stuff I've done is actually in service of Act 3, or if I'm curious to see if I get to Act 3 and like, oh no, you haven't even started.
I don't think you can get to Act 3 unless you've done most of the side stuff. That's why I've said you like, don't put it off. Like you have to do a lot of side stuff.
Okay, I'm glad I've been doing that, chipping away at that. I've done most of it, so I think it's one or two bosses that I haven't done. And I need to find Sherma. She's disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
Little asshole.
She does.
Not a she. Apparently it's a boy.
Also, I'll assume it is a she. It's a he.
Yeah. Nothing. I really enjoy that moment where you come across him in those little springs. He's just like, oh, I'm just chilling here for a little bit. Like, so cute. So cute. I love
a character.
Good game.
Great game.
Good game. I think that's pretty much it for this week. Quite a bit happening. There's not much coming out this month, but I think from February onwards, packed again.
New Resident Evil.
February's got some big ones, but I'm like drawing blank on some of them now.
It's new Resident Evil end of the month. There's a new Mario Tennis.
Resident Evil. That's it.
Mid-Feb.
Isn't Pragmata out in Feb?
No, I have no idea.
I really want to play that. It looks kind of neat. Let me see here. Oh, there's High Ground next week. We'll see if that's any good.
Neo 3 is coming out 13 Feb as well. Wait, I lie.
Yeah, 6th of Feb.
Yeah.
Very soon. Very, very soon. There's a Mario Tennis coming out next month? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Who knew?
There's Resident Evil, then Marathon in March, then there's another big one in March. Oh, or maybe not. Oh, Pragmata's in April. And Saros in April.
Yeah, April's got a good few.
Saros. And a Diablo
expansion,
4 expansion in April. Damn. And that's all in the last week of April, all three of those. Crazy.
Wild. Oh yeah, we in May we get the new Forza as well.
Oof. That developer direct, one of the strongest Microsoft showings in a long time. That was peak. I mean,
let me tell you, someone who monitors the UK channels, who deals with a lot of shit towards Xbox. Sentiment has been so good, man. I go into his comment section on Friday and just people going like, wow, that was great. It's like, oh, what a nice change of
so
pace.
Good. I was in there just mainly for Forza. I even told Shani, I'm like, after the show Forza, I'm probably going to tune out. But okay, Beast of Reincarnation, Beast of Incarnation.
Yeah, it's
the Game Freak one.
Yeah,
it piqued my interest because I had no interest prior to that, and I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. I'll give it a go.
Actually, looks good visually as well. Amazing.
Visually looks very good. Could you imagine if Pokemon looked that good? Holy shit!
Holy hell.
Forza Horizon 6 is my fucking catnip, and the way they were talking about that game and showing off Japan, I'm like, injected into my veins right now. I'm so keen. But then Fable floored me. Like, it's been such a meme for, Fable being in development for so long, and is this a series that is actually, justified for this development time? And what they showed off looked fucking awesome. Like, the combat looked great.
Yeah.
The whole NPC web of simulation looks phenomenal. Like, Peter Molyneux must have been like, damn, how'd they do this? This is what I always wanted to do.
This is what I always envisioned.
They've done this. Yeah. It looks so cool. This is like the sort of reintroduction that Fable needed, and it could establish it as a core franchise for Microsoft going forward if they pull this off.
And I like how because what a lot of people don't realize is that Fable's been made by the Forza people, Playground Games.
Yeah, Playground.
And there is this thing of like, well, they've only made racing games, but in the developer direct, they were like, yeah, we spent like so many years making race games, but we've spun up a different team to like, it's not like they go, oh cool, now that you're done programming your car, can you come make like a Fable? You know what I mean?
It's like I can get a horse to drift.
The way they said it's like, it was very like indirect of being like, actually we like fuck off experienced, and we've just spun up a different team to like work on this. Like, hey, give us, like, we're going to be as faithful as we can, but like, give us a shot. And you know what? It looks really good. So I'll give it to them.
Yeah. And I guess that's why it's taken so long. I guess when it was initially announced, that was more a recruitment thing of like, Playground is building a team for this.
Yeah.
And we are just starting. And I think Microsoft has been really guilty of that in the past. And I think it was this week that they said, or there was some quote from some exec saying that they're going to stop doing that. It's going to be much, much tighter windows between announcement and release, maybe hopefully similar to what Capcom does. But I mean, you look at Perfect Dark and Fable, all of those were announced as recruitment, bids. They hadn't actually started. And I think for Playground to build this team from nothing, it makes sense why this has taken so long. But yeah, Playground's UK based. They're pretty much propping up Microsoft's first party offerings, I think, on their back currently, because I haven't been that excited for two Microsoft exclusives in a very long time. And they're both, I could see Fable slipping to next year. It'd be nice if it's still this year. It says autumn, but I mean, Forza's definitely coming out in May for sure.
Autumn's what, like October?
September, October, yeah.
It could slip to next
GTA
year. GTA
time,
Yeah. If it slips to November, like, nah, fam. Make it winter 2027.
I could see it slip. I can see maybe why they say autumn, because they're not sure the exact time yet, given GTA and all of that. It would be nice if it's this year, though, because I don't see like Gears being ready for this year. That's probably a next year thing. And it would suck if they miss out on a big tentpole release this year like they did last year. So
yeah.
And Halo's out this year as well, isn't it? The remake.
I think it is this year.
Yeah. Potentially big year for Microsoft. That'd be pretty cool.
We'll see. Yeah. Oh well.
Cool. That was the first episode of Checkpoint Chats in 2026. What a weird thing to say. What a weird year.
More weirder than I'm a father now.
Well, hand in hand with that. It's weird. That's feeling less weird day by day, but I've come to be comfortable. Well, not comfortable, but I've come to understand what little sleep means and how to function on little sleep. But it is what it is. Sometimes you wake up at 4 a.m, you're changing a diaper, you get projectile shat on, and all you can do is laugh. There's nothing else you can do. There's no reason to get angry. Sometimes you get angry because it's the sleep deprivation getting to you. But sometimes you just laugh. You're just like,
yeah, but you hold the power.
Shame.
You can say to your son, listen, keep projectile shitting on me, and you will not have any games to play in your future. I will withhold them from
true
you.
that. He won't remember shit, but when he comes to of age, it'd be like, remember when you did that at 4 in the morning? You'd be like, no. It's like, I remember.
You're going to play Silksong 3. Oh, wishful thinking. You're grounded.
Silksong 3. Yeah, maybe by the time he's like in high school, there'll be another game from Team Cherry.
When he goes to primary school, like, oh, yay. That Sherma game we were speaking about in 2026.
Oh, no, not Sherma.
Can't believe this. That is actually scary to think. Like, Silksong came out last year. It's like the next game, if it follows the same formula, it's like 2032. Like, oh, that's so far away.
Hollow Knight was what, 2017?
Yes, it's a lifetime away.
Like, if my son was born then, he would be like 9 years old now by the time Silksong came out.
Crazy.
Like, that's fucking nuts.
Last thing I'll say before we bounce. Final Fantasy VII Integrate came out on Xbox on Friday, I think. So I looked it up.
Wasn't it Switch or was it Xbox as well?
Both came out on Xbox and Switch.
Both. Okay.
Wild time to be alive.
Mm.
But I was like, when did the original Final Fantasy VII come out? Next year, in 2027, will be 30 years that game came out. And I just turned into dust. I was like, what? What do you mean? I played that when I was a kid. I remember playing that. It's being blown away. It's like, okay, that's it's too much time for me.
There's actually, next year as well is, I think it's 2027. Fallout 3 will be 20 years old.
What?
Came out in 2007, yeah.
I think this year, Resident Evil is 30 years as well. It's like, that is...
Oh, Mario's already past like 35 years, you know.
Yeah.
No, crazy times.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is when you start feeling old because you're like, back in my day, I played Fallout 3. They're like, okay, Grandpa, we're on Fallout 10 now. Let's please calm down.
In my day, it was Resident Evil 1.
Wait until we hit Final Fantasy 20 or something stupid like that, you know.
God. Yeah.
Good times. Cool. That has been episode 282 of Checkpoint Chat. We hope you all had a really good holiday, a good festive season, a good Christmas, and a new year, and you're recharged and ready for whatever 2026 has in store for you.
Pretty much.
It's basically already February. So,
Christmas is around the corner.
1 out of 11 months down, you know. Hope you stay safe. Thank you again for joining us, and we will see you relatively soon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.